to. Today we are doing what I have been waiting for since before I bought the car, and that is an IS38 swap. Basically taking the GTI to Golf R power levels without the all-wheel drive. But hey, we saved 300 pounds. So this is gonna be a fun one, and we're gonna show you how to do it. First step you wanna take, dropping the coolant, because you don't wanna just dump coolant off the back of your car. So we're going to dump coolant off the front of our car. So we're gonna pop this green tab over. So we're gonna just go ahead and pop this tab over. Expecting that to come out a little faster. We're gonna take the intake out of our way. So we will do that by getting this little 7mm off here. If you have the stock box, this process is gonna look a little different, but moving the intake is pretty straightforward. View our IE or CTS intake install video to reference how to take a stock box out. Actually, just the CTS intake, because I went stock to CTS to IE. So we're going to be removing this hard coolant line, so we'll disconnect this hose. So we want to get this hard line off. I got this coupler off here. It's T30 on this side, T30 over here, 3 T30s and a few auxiliary hoses. Take these coil packs off, and you may have to shave down a 10mm to hold the bottom nut. Your ground straps aside, and we'll just remove our coil packs. These harnesses, you gotta push the tab up and the plug back. Oh, there are actuators. Lift up on the gray, pull back, push down.
I don't know. It's hooked onto here.
Bring tooth grabby head. Alright, to get our coil pack harness out of the way, we're going to cut this tape. Got to disconnect these hoses from this hard line. So there's one here, 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 and here. Oh, that felt great! Mud, sweat, and tears. Alright, first time. Oh, yeah. Is that blood? Is it coolant?
Who knows? Who cares?
Get this charge pipe loosened. Should we try dumping coolant now? Take 2. There we go.
Still not.
Alright, so now we want to get this harness out of here. Alright, we can't disconnect the O2 until we get the heat shield out of the way, but first we're going to take the V-band of the downpipe off, and I believe it's a 7mm hex, or 6mm.
I think it's a 6.
And now we get a pry bar in. Get to that we've got a 10 millimeter nut or a bolt on top of the turbo for this heat shield. Then we've got two 5 millimeter hexes. So you're gonna wanna get an O2 wrench adapter. I believe it's a 22 mil. Crack that loose and then remove it. Dan doesn't wanna break my cam position, cam angle, cam actuator. So he's taking those two off that are by that O2.
It's just in order to get any sort of leverage on the 3/8 to remove the O2. As soon as it breaks, it's gonna hit plastic.
Whatever.
I don't want to be responsible for that because it's easier to remove one screw than it is to.
It's so cold in here.
So can I just yank this out?
Should be able to pull straight out. They usually have a long piece that's inside. That's how you get variable cam timing. Ooh la la. Should we plug that with something? There's a whole lot of dirt on there that
Hardware Learning is now hiring a full-time LP tank shaker in our garage for when it's negative 10 degrees when you wake up in the morning.
Is that enough to get this O2 out?
We're gonna find out real soon after I just jiggle this thing around until it blows up. God, it's so cold. When you find this GoPro on top of a house 3 blocks away.
Please bring it back to Bryn.
Yeah, that definitely probably would have broke something. Or something just stripped, but I think I got it.
No, I saw it spin. Now you should be able to get that with your hand.
Oops.
Well, it took us 2 minutes and 47 seconds to remove the O2.
When are we gonna go get that next LP tank? And some McDonald's.
I don't know.
Get an LP tank?
I don't know, Dan. I like listening to you complain.
I want to have my toes for later tonight.
Who needs those? Should we put that actuator back in?
If it's easy to take in and out if it makes you feel better.
I don't think we'll need it out to put everything back together, because he certainly didn't take it out.
Yeah, but he's, you know,
A magician.
professional.
Whoa, Dan, we're professionals.
And we are Hardware Learning.
All right, the next thing I want to do is get the turbo inlet pipe off. So I hate getting this PCV hose off of here, so we're gonna take it off of here.
It's a T30.
It's a T30. T30 for days. I think I remember that from our Golf Sport Wagon install.
Now you go up and then back? Or
Back.
just forward?
Just slot that thing just straight back. There we go. And now we can get the T30 bracket that holds turbo inlet pipe on.
There.
Right there.
Extenderino, bud.
You're getting a twofer today. This would show you how to do a turbo inlet pipe install, but we're also doing the whole turbo, because why not? Why not?
Because it's cold, that's why not.
Alright, so another T30, and then we just clock that turbo inlet pipe backwards.
Towards the firewall.
Just pull it out. We'll set that aside. Alright, so now we're gonna have to tackle the oil feed line, coolant in the back, and then the oil drain underneath. Yeah, I think we're gonna want that downpipe out of the way.
This one? Yeah. Can I do that one? Is that okay? This one looks easier to get to.
Maybe I'll know why. It's 8mm triple square on the oil feed line. It was a 10mm where it actually feeds into the turbo. Once you get this 8mm triple square off, you should be able to pull the oil feed line up.
It's moving a little bit. Oh.
Now I think we disconnect our wastegate actuator back here. Now we are going to take the coupler off the charge pipe. We already got this loosened up. This way we can free up the charge pipe from the turbo. sneaking a little wrench in there because Volkswagen decided to make it difficult. They could have pointed it towards the back, but they pointed it towards the engine. What a bunch of jerks. This is where it starts getting tricky. We've got that bracket. That's kind of a mounting bracket for the bottom of the turbo. I think it's a triple square. We've got a coolant. That's a triple square, 8mm triple square, and then we'll have an oil feed, which you can actually see right there on the bottom.
I'll be able to have you there. Well, get yourself a 1/4-inch drive triple square set. People were saying a triple square one was the tough one.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so there's
Stan
that.
got it no problem.
I mean, when you're good, you're good.
All right, then there's this bracket holding that, which looks like it's probably a T30. Might be able to get that from the driver's side.
I got me some long arms. Come on. Maybe it's a T25. Or did someone say T30?
I don't know.
Didn't feel like I was getting it in the hole, but it's hard to tell.
Maybe just feel with just the bit in your hand.
We're taking out the downpipe. Can you hold your gloves?
Yeah, can you toast them briefly?
Here we are, feeding the downpipe out. Maybe.
Oh, there it is. Let's see if I can. All right. Do you see the oil line?
Give me a second here. That's the one on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a long extension, the triple square we've been using, probably an 8mm.
Okay.
Okay, so we're looking from the bottom side of the old turb ski here, and we got an 8mm triple square on an extension. Okay.
It's a warmer day out.
Not -20 for a high.
And hopefully we'll get it out. I don't know what else to say. And underneath the car I go. Am I totally missing this bolt right here?
It's right there.
I got her started.
Here, I'm gonna have an easier time.
It doesn't need to come all the way out. Just needs to.
This is the one I was having a hell of a time.
Yeah, it just feels like.
Absolutely stuck on there.
Yeah, it feels like it's really. Maybe if we just pull the turbo out with that arm. These were that. So now we just gotta pop these top ones off and see if it'll come up.
Do the bottom ones have washers? Oh, well, there goes that.
Looks like they're captured with the nut. I'm amazed that didn't fall.
Yeah, I just wasn't even gonna comment on it. I was just gonna count my blessings, keep going about my day. Lottery ticket.
Splooged right off. Tip it off the studs and pull up, I guess. The arm might be an issue, but give it a whirl, I guess.
What am I doing?
You just gotta tip it past the studs and then pull up. If it'll let you go. I don't know if that support arm is gonna be fighting you at all.
Yeah, I get to a point about there, and beyond that, it doesn't feel too good.
Maybe try to tip the support arm up and then.
Can't see the support arm, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that like a line on the bottom is up or something.
Well, we wiggle it around enough, maybe we can get it to loosen up from one end now. Yeah, that is just still cinched up. Try wiggling the turbo back and forth, I just want to look at it.
you push this on the way? It's out.
That was easy. All right, tune in next week for why do my knees hurt?
Alright, so we kind of fought with the O-rings for a while. We didn't pull all the lines off. You probably should. We are going to be kicking ourselves down the road. But we replaced any of the O-rings on the lines that were fully removed. So oil feed, coolant lines where they connect, everything that connects to the turbo that we pulled off. And then we've got, matching those up is kind of tricky, but if you go to FCP Euro, they write part of the part number on the bag, so you kind of try to figure out, okay, this one says it's for the oil feed, okay, it looks about the same size as that. And then you hope you're right, because pulling all this back out again is gonna be kind of annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So we got our gasket on. We're gonna put our turbo in completely naked, other than the turbo muffler delete guy. And then we'll connect the discharge pipe. I don't care about the studs.
The studs are fine. Now, if there's ever a video of us replacing the studs for the turbo,
come back to this video and tell us we're idiots. Or just tell us we're idiots now.
He says standing on top of his engine.
Alright, before you put the downpipe back in, you still have access to the lower part of the turbo. You're going to want to do an adaptation on the wastegate actuator. You're shooting for about 3.6 volts. I think what I read online is 3.6 to 3.7 is good. So what you do is you come down below and you loosen the jam nut on the wastegate actuator, and then you can twist the wastegate rod with your finger and go into VCDS and look at the, what value was it? Charge adaptation voltage or something. You're also very, very, very important. You want to prime the turbo, so put a little bit of oil in that oil feed on the top before you start the car. And I might actually pull the fuel pump fuse and crank it a couple times to get oil pressure through that system before we do the first start. Yeah, one last thing. We didn't really feel like going to the store to get more coolant, so we reclaimed, but I didn't really have anything to filter it out, like a coffee filter or anything, so just using the old t-shirt method. Warranty claim. So we think we have everything buttoned down. There's a good chance we don't. Before you start the car, as I said earlier, you want to make sure you dump some oil down the oil feed first. Make sure that that's lubricated before the car starts up. For extra precaution, I pulled the fuel control module fuse. I think that means that it won't actually fire when I try to turn it over, and then that'll allow the oil pump to prime our oil lines. But there's a good chance it still starts, but that's why we precautionarily, is that even a word?
No.
As a precaution, we added oil to the top of the turbo. You don't want the car to start up and get hot without oil being in that bearing. So we'll go see if it turns over and doesn't start, ideally. So that was the car running out of oil, or I mean out of gas.
Well, there's a little bit of smoke coming off the downpipe.
Alright, so ideally that will have primed the turbo without it getting too hot. So now we'll put our fuel pump fuse back in, idle the car, and check for any sort of leaks.
It's right there. Oil, coolant, whatever else.